Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at what is my favourite Game Boy Advance game. This is just my anecdotal opinion. It only involves the games I've actually played, and I think this one is amazing. Obviously I haven't played every game, so take this with a pinch of salt, but I really want to promote this game because it's amazing, and therefore I hope you'll enjoy the video. So there's a couple of categories that I wanted to think about when I was choosing what is my favourite game for the Game Boy Advance. The first one is longevity of the game. I want it to be so that if that game was released today, it would still be seen as an awesome game, and I believe that this one absolutely would, because of the art style and the design and just the way it looks and feels to play. It's almost like a modern game. It's so snappy. It's brilliant. Obviously it is still a GBA game, so it's 2D, it's got that great pattern, that great music, but I think that adds to it. I think it's an absolutely perfect game, and I don't think it's not, well, I say absolutely perfect. I think it's a brilliant game, and I think it isn't impacted by how old it is at all. The second one of those is replayability. I want this to be a game that you could play multiple times over and over again without feeling like you're not getting something, and this is a game I've spent God knows how many hours. If I could log them, I would. I've emulated this on my phone. I play it on multiple Game Boys. I think this game is bloody brilliant. So they're the two factors that I've used in determining it. So yeah, you probably guessed it from the thumbnail, but the game that I'm talking about is Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland. This is actually a remake of the 1993 NES game Kirby's Adventure, which is a great game in itself, but I think this GBA remake just adds a lot of extra detail. It adds that little punch to the music and has those really charming coloured backgrounds and sort of coloured enemies and things like that, which just adds to it. Although the original was a brilliant game and I encourage you to play it, I think this one's better. So this one was released in Europe in 2003, about 10 years after the original game, and they didn't really change that much in terms of the actual gameplay and also the backgrounds and things. They just added that extra detail, which really shows and makes this a absolutely brilliant game. This is a platformer, obviously, with Kirby as the main character. He's an amorphous pink blob. I'm sure you know who he is, and his creator was actually Sakurai, the same guy who created the Super Smash Bros. Series, and it's just in this absolutely mental world, and there's nothing like this in modern Kirby games, I don't think. They are still cool and they're aesthetically pleasing, but I just think the gameplay of this one is so smooth and just a little bit different, and for me, is absolutely perfect. The main gimmick for Kirby, if you haven't played one of his games before, is that he can eat his enemies and then gain their powers, so the gameplay really varies depending which enemies you complete. Which enemies you eat. This also adds a bit of diversity to gameplay, and also you can challenge yourself a little bit. If you've, like me, completed this loads of times, then you can say, okay, I'm only going to do it by eating the fire enemy or the sword enemy or something like that, or even eating no one, trying to complete the game like that, or just eating and shooting them out of stars, staying as plain Kirby, which really adds that extra replayability and difference in the game. Another thing that's quite interesting about it is if you 100% it, you can play as Meta Knight. He plays differently to Kirby. You probably also know him from Smash, and that's a really interesting and cool detail as well. It's a fairly easy game. It's like a side-scrolling platformer. Because of that, I think that also adds to it. It adds a bit more ease of access. Like my girlfriend doesn't really play platformers at all, but she really enjoyed playing this game. It also means that you don't have to get into it too much to play. You can play it easily on sort of public transport and things, which is what I tend to do. And even emulating, it means that it's the perfect difficulty to use your phone's touch controls, and it still plays brilliantly and still feels pretty good. So I definitely, even if you don't have a Game Boy, I recommend picking this up on an emulator. Obviously support the game's creators and support Kirby in other ways, but it really is a great game to play on your phone. I think I've played it probably the most on my phone, just because I always have that with me, although since I obtained a Game Boy Micro, that's changed a little bit because it's really easy to carry around with you. The thing that really sets this game apart for me compared to other Game Boy Advance games is just the look and feel. The music, oh man, the music is amazing in this game. It fits the environment so well. It's so fun. You have to play this with headphones because it's just brilliant. And then there's that cool world. It's so bright, it's so colourful. It's just really, really fun to play and get into. I absolutely recommend you playing this with headphones, and you will not regret it. This game is amazing. It's just brilliant to sit there and play for as long as you can or short as you can. It's just an amazing game. Yeah, and when you combine all these features of this game, you combine this brilliant music, this brilliant world, and this really intuitive and easy gameplay. Although there are some more challenging bosses, there are boss fights in there, you just get this brilliant, and for me, this perfect game. And I really think it is. I think it's brilliant to play. The gameplay's interesting, the bosses are interesting, And that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope that you pick this up. This is a short video. I just wanted to put it out there as something to try and encourage you guys to buy the game. Thank you very much for watching. Please give me a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I try to put out a video every week. Thank you guys for watching.